I knew I was different in grade school. I was about 8 or 9, and I knew I didn't fit in with the boys, but I didn't quite fit in with the girls either.
I was quite young when I realized I was different, 12, 13, 14, but I was in denial for a very long time. I didn't actually come out even to myself until I was 36.
I really started feeling somewhat disconnected as early as the age of 7, and it kind of got more pronounced as time went on. But frankly, I didn't really fully understand what was going on until I was probably about 25, 26 when I finally came to terms with myself.
I think I noticed I was different when I was about 12, and all my friends were suddenly getting very interested in members of the opposite sex, and I just wasn't getting it. But I knew it was going to make my mom really mad.
I was always picked on for being different. I was called sissy and told that I acted girlish and whatnot, and got, bullied for playing with the girls.
It wasn't necessarily the bullying, it was more that I knew that I didn't fit and I didn't feel worthy because I was getting all these messages that I was so different and wrong.
I felt really alienated and really alone, like no one would ever understand me. I was really afraid of telling my friends because I thought they would think that I was disgusting.
There was a lot of depression. There was a lot of, moments when it was like, okay, why am I even here? What am I doing? Why should I even stick around?
I suffered from severe depression and anxiety, panic attacks. Life was pretty miserable.
I was going through depression at the time, and I had little self-confidence. In order to deal with some of the burdens that were weighing me down, I started cracking a lot of jokes, and I learned to make fun of myself, fun of my mistakes, and that's when my self-esteem started to rise up.
I spent time with several therapists sporadically exploring this until I finally made the decision that I should transition and come out. The first time I put on a skirt, I whirled around the living room dancing, singing, "I Feel Pretty." It was obvious that this was what I should have been all along.
I had a personal journal that I wrote to every now and then, and slowly I started to talk to friends, and I slowly started to realize that being queer wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it would be. And my friends were slowly telling me that it's okay and that they actually support me.
I got out as quickly as possible from the town I grew up in. I grew up in South Florida, which you would think is very accepting, but it's really not for a young child, for a kid, for an 18-year-old even, unless you're in a particular space, and I wasn't in that space yet.
I grew older and I grew stronger. I grew more confident. I finally joined the military, and I got even more confident.
One of my proudest moments as a straight ally was a Gay Straight Alliance team meeting I went to at an area high school. I mentor part of those meetings, and there was a youth there, a teenage person who came to me and talked to me very briefly and shook my hand and said, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that there are supportive people who are straight allies in the community. I didn't know that existed."
I'm amazed at the amount of change that has happened in the last 20 years. Life is so much easier now, and I think that you have many more resources than you did back when I was a kid.
Use the internet. Find places. Find people.
LGBT community organizations that help teenagers.
Get involved in your local GSA. And if there is not a GSA at your high school, there's probably a GSA at a nearby high school that would definitely welcome you in.
Go to college. You have the skills. You can do that, and I believe in you.
That piece of paper is so important. Figure out a way to get it, whether it's pushing through and persevering through high school or getting your GED. Whatever you need to do, get that piece of paper.
When I told my mother that I was a lesbian, she simply told me I hadn't met the right man. And I was like, okay. I knew that wasn't the case, but now I'm 43 years old, and I have a wonderful family, a nice house, and a wonderful job, great friends, co-workers, and a very supportive family.
I realized I had such a great life. I was living, I'd been out of the Air Force for years. I'd come into grips with some of the issues I was dealing with, and I'd met my partner, and we'd been together for about a year. We had a house, we had dogs, we had great jobs, we were traveling, we were doing things, and it dawned on me, you know what, all these things that people would tell me when I was younger about how bad everything was going to be, no, it's good, it's great, life was awesome.
Does it get better? Hell yes, it gets better, but you have to be patient.
Just hang in there and be who and what you can be, grow, don't give up.
It's not going to fall in your lap one day and present itself in a pretty package. You have to work at it, but it really does get better.
I am who I am. I don't deny who I am to anybody. It's not a question for me anymore.
My strength comes from my past and my present. Yours can too. It gets better.
It gets better.
It really gets better.
It does get better.